Because we all know if we want a huge amount of passive income from dividends, these are the dividends that are paid quarterly from world-class blue chip companies. If we want more of that, we either have to have more years, more time for it to compound, or we have to invest more money. And I want to invest more money, I want to do it now, and so I am hunting for marginal activities where I can make more margin for myself on the margin. Hey everyone, this is Ian from ppcian.com, and I am back with another video about dividend growth investing. As you can see right in front of me here, I have a lot of quarters. This is a lot of change that's been sitting around. It's been accumulating in my home, and I want to make a point with this change today. This is going to be the focus of today's video. So before I get into all this change, why it's here, what it means, I want to start with a quote. One of my favorite quotes that I learned in business from an executive at one of the old companies that I used to work with goes like this. It says, "Your margin is made on the margin." So let me dissect that quote, explain it a little bit. What does that quote mean? So you may or may not have heard of this concept called margin. Margin basically is another word for profit. It's the profit that a company or a person takes home at the end of the day. So practical example here is revenue, the amount of sales that a company drives. Let's just say hypothetically it's $1,000. Let's say the cost of driving all that revenue is $500. $1,000 minus $500, revenue minus cost equals the margin or the profit, which would be $500. And so the fact of the matter is that this quote applies to both businesses and people. So let's think about this from an e-commerce standpoint. How many of you out there have bought things online? I'm assuming most of the people watching here have purchased items online before. When one purchases things online, there's always this little reminder as one goes through the shopping flow. And oftentimes it says, hey, did you think about buying this product to complement the one that you have in your cart? Or did you know most customers who bought this very thing that you're trying to buy right now, they also bought this? Customers like you bought that. And really what these companies are trying to do is they're trying to cross-sell. They're trying to attach other products to the purchase that you were already going to make. And the reason for this is on that initial purchase, on that initial item, they may not make a lot of money. Revenue minus cost might leave very few dollars of margin, if any. However, when you attach these other products, hey, customers like you bought this, or did you think you may want to add this to your purchase? Those marginal products, that's where the companies make their margin. And it makes sense because there's overhead costs, there's fixed costs, there's just the cost of running a website, there's a cost of marketing, cost of salespeople. And so when someone comes to the website and they buy that initial product, it's probably not a lot of margin. But if you can get the same person to buy multiple products, then margin starts happening. And so what it really means is your margin is made on the margin, meaning these marginal products create the margin. And so this applies to businesses, but it also applies to people. So let's think about this from a personal standpoint, personal finance standpoint, a financial freedom standpoint. Those of us, like myself, trying to achieve financial freedom, meaning that there's an abundance of cash flow coming in from dividend stocks, from dividends, passive income that cover all of one's living expenses, oftentimes those of us trying to achieve financial freedom have what's called a base salary. We have a base pay that we take home each month, and that pay usually covers our living expenses. Those of us who are really good at this have pared back our living expenses, we budgeted really well, and so there is a net amount of margin that we're saving, and we can deploy that margin into dividend-paying stocks. And the dividend-paying stocks, by investing in them, we get more cash flow. And one day that cash flow will snowball and pay for everything. It will be massive. However, here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever thought like, hey, I wish I could do this quicker. I wish I could have more money to invest. I wish that it weren't so slow. I want to achieve financial freedom sooner. Well, I just did a video addressing the question of how much money do I need? How much money does one need in the stock market to achieve financial freedom? And there are two factors, two variables in achieving financial freedom. One of them is amount of time that you have to invest, the number of years that are there for compounding dividends and returns. The other factor is how much money one invests. And so I am here today to say that I believe your margin is made on the margin completely applies to dividend growth investing into financial freedom. If one wants more margin, meaning take-home pay, you got your take-home pay, you subtract out all your expenses, you've got this much left. You want this much to become this much, you have to start thinking like a business. You have to start thinking, well, how can I generate marginal income? How can I make my margin on the margin? What are the things I can do now that all of my cost of living is paid for? I can earn more revenue, and all of that revenue can become margin. It can all be deployed into dividend-paying stocks. Well, there are a few things one can do. One can be a freelancer, so they can pick up some freelance work, do some extra work at night. One can start a side business. Maybe they have a website or a YouTube channel or another form of earning a little bit of income online. Maybe one can even start a traditional side business. Maybe they want to do something a little bit traditional, like maybe they want to start a landscape business, or maybe they want to be a consultant in a variety of fashions. Well, here's an easy way right here to make some more margin on the margin. As a dividend growth investor, it's important to always be thinking about all of the opportunities out there. And one of these opportunities that's been in front of me here now for a while is just all this change in my house, all this change sitting around. I've been saving all these quarters. Sometimes I pay for things with cash. I have change left over. I just put it in the change jar. It accumulates. It just sits there. It does nothing. It's earning no dividends. Well, what I'm going to do is I got all my quarters here. I have other currency as well, dimes, nickels, pennies. I'm going to count them all up, and that's going to be some margin that I earn on the margin. This money here is doing nothing for me. I'm not spending it. It's just sitting around. I'm not earning anything on it. I'm not investing it. Well, what I've realized is I have an opportunity to earn some margin on the margin right in front of me. And I bet you, it's a lot of quarters here. When I add all of this up, it'll probably be, I estimate, somewhere between maybe $200 and $300. Now, that may not sound like a huge amount of money, but you do these types of projects on a monthly basis. Maybe this month it's the quarters. Maybe next month I take on a little bit of consulting, a few hours of consulting, earn a little bit of extra money. Maybe the month after that I spend a lot of time on my blog, and there's a way for me to earn some income online. Each month, if I do these marginal activities and earn some more money on the margin, it adds up over time. Say I can do $200 or $300 extra per month. You know, we're suddenly looking upwards of the $2,000 to $3,000 range per year in incremental money above and beyond what I'm already investing in dividend-paying stocks. That will accelerate the snowball effect. It will add more to the snowball to allow it to compound quicker, because we all know if we want a huge amount of passive income from dividends, these are the dividends that are paid quarterly from world-class blue-chip companies. If we want more of that, we either have to have more years, more time for it to compound, or we have to invest more money. And I want to invest more money. I want to do it now. And so I am hunting for marginal activities where I can make more margin for myself on the margin. So I'm going to count all of this up. I am going to report back in another video actually how much I have here. I'm hoping between $200 and $300, it may be more. I'm going to invest that in a stock, one of my favorites, and I'm going to pick one that's maybe come down a little bit in recent times so I can get a value. I can probably get an entry yield of around 3% or so. I'm going to put this money to work in my favorite investment vehicle, which is dividend growth stocks. So keep an eye out. It may not be my next video. It might take a little bit of time to count up all these quarters. I don't have a ton of time, but I'm gonna do my best to make that happen. And please check back, because I will be reporting here on the success of this strategy. And I challenge everyone out there, when you go home from this video, think, how can I make more margin on the margin? What are the marginal activities I can do in my spare time to earn a little bit of extra money, where I can take all of that money and put it to work in dividend growth stocks? My name is Ian Lopuck. I'm from ppcian.com. I thank you so much for watching today. It means the world to me. Please, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, please comment, please subscribe. It means the world to me. It's the greatest way you can thank me for producing these videos on YouTube. Before I leave, just as a friendly disclaimer, my name is Ian Lopuck. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Today's video is not financial advice. Today's video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you enjoyed the video today, I please invite you to subscribe to my channel. And if you are going to go out and invest money in the stock market, please do consult a licensed financial advisor first. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next PPC Ian dividend investing video.